everyone, and welcome to day 10 of your 10 minutes for 10 days yogasana challenge. And today is actually my favorite routine, so I've taken my favorite mat out for it. This mat is really soft and it's very comfortable, and today's routine is also meant to really stretch you out and make you feel very relaxed. So this is a routine that I do frequently, sometimes at the end of the day, sometimes even at the beginning of the day to just warm up. And for this routine, we're going to try to be as comfortable as possible. So we're going to take a belt and we're going to also take something under the head. So I've taken a blanket, I've folded it up and I'm using a blanket, but you can also use a pillow, anything that's comfortable. Alright, so to begin, let's lie down and we'll start with something that I call traction in my classes. So we're going to lie down and you're going to take a belt or a dupatta and take the right leg straight up. So if you've been following my classes for a while, you might be a little more flexible and you could actually pull that leg further into the body. But otherwise you could just kind of keep the leg up like this, pull the toes in, push the heels out. And if you're not able to bring the leg at 90 degrees, you can also just keep it like this. But the idea is to try to stretch the back of the leg. So you're going to lift up, pull the toes in, and stay here. And for those of you who are actually more flexible, you could actually just extend further out. And you can actually hold the foot also if you want, but I like to keep it kind of relaxed and I pull the toes in. And now let's do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to take the left leg up, pull the right foot down and pull the toes in and push the heels out. And try to go the same amount for both legs. So if the right leg was this close, you bring the left leg this close as well. Because the idea in yoga is to sort of try to find a sense of equality and balance. Now let's take the right leg up again and bring the left leg down. Now again you're really lifting it and pulling it in, and now you're going to extend the left leg out and straighten the leg. So both legs are now absolutely straight and you're trying to push the left leg down. Sometimes some of you might be doing this, and that's also okay because we're trying to get to the lower back in this. We're trying to stretch the lower back. So it's okay if the knee is a little bent, but you need to make the effort of pushing that knee down and pull the leg forward. Pull the leg as close to you as you can. Now, same thing on the other side. So you're going to switch legs, left leg goes up, take the right leg down, and then extend the right leg out also. Keep pulling the toes in. And this in itself sort of releases a lot of stress around your hips. So it's a great thing to add to your everyday routine. Now let's switch legs again. So the right leg goes up, left leg comes down. And you're going to extend the right leg out and then hold the belt with the right hand and take the right leg as close to the floor as you can. Now I have a wall there, so my foot rests on that wall. But if you can take it down, but at the same time keep the left hip on the floor, then that's what you want to do. And keep extending the inner edge of the foot out, pull the toes in. Good. And then let's bring the leg up and hold the belt with the other hand, the left hand. And now let's take this leg all the way down to the left side. So now you're twisting. And keep extending the right hand down, the right shoulder down to the floor and look to the right. Now, let's come up And now let's do the same thing on the other side. So left leg goes up, right leg comes down, and you're going to straighten the right leg. Now hold the left leg, the bed with the left hand, and extend this leg down. And again, you don't need to take it all the way down, but keep the right thigh pressed down into the floor. And keep trying to straighten the leg, and if you need to let go of the belt a little bit to keep the leg straight, you can do that as well. And let's bring the leg up, and now hold the belt with the other hand and take this leg down to the other side. So now again I've hit that belt, the wall, and that's okay. And just this bit really helps those, those of you who have, lower back pain and stuff like that. It really helps. Now, lift the leg up, and now both legs up. Good. Release. Okay, now you can put the belt aside, and in fact, turn to the right and come up, and you can put the pillow or the blanket aside as well. And now come into your downward dog. So I'm going to hold the edges of this mat, and then lift the hips up and really widen the thighs. If you want, you can push the heels down also, widening the back, and keep pushing the belly button closer to the thighs. Now from here, let's come into Ashwashenasana, or the low lunge. So you're going to bring the right knee in between both hands, and you can press the back knee down and sink the hips down. And stay here. And another nice thing to do here is to sink back in the runner's stretch. And then come forward once again. And remember, the right side is a lot more flexible than the left. So we want to try it. So don't go to your maximum here. Stay safe. Now let's walk this right leg to the left side and come into the pigeon pose. So if you need props for this, go ahead and use props, and don't lean down to one side. Keep squaring the hips, chest open. Yeah, this is a great way to really stretch the lower back. Now, place your elbows on the floor and actually walk the hands forward and come into your sleeping pigeon. Now this is something you can do right before bed, on your bed, and it's really nice to open the thighs and like a tight back. And then you're going to come up, and now you're going to bring the back leg, the left leg forward, and kind of cross both legs on top of each other like in Gomukhasana, and then take both hands to the left side and walk the hands forward. And keep the hips pushed down on the floor. Good. And walk the hands back. Now, let's go back into downward dog. So you're going to place your hands on the floor, and in fact, I'm going to hold the edges of the mat and extend back up. Roll the thighs in. Press the heels down. Now, let's bring the left leg forward in between both hands. Place the back knee on the floor and sink the hips down. And be patient because this side is a lot less flexible than the other side. And then you're going to extend back into what we call the runner's stretch. And in the runner's stretch, keep pointing the toes up and sink the hips back. And let's come forward and then come into your pigeon pose. So you're going to take this leg to the right, extend the back foot back and extend and lift the chest up. If you feel a tightness in your groin, release the groin, release the lower abdominal muscles, release the glutes. And then let's place the hands on the floor and then walk the hands forward and come into your sleeping pigeon. And then let's come up. And now you're going to bring the right leg, place it across the left so that the knees are on top of each other. Then you're going to place your hands on the floor and walk the hands forward. Press both thighs down. Don't tilt. There's a tendency to lift the left hip up and tilt a little bit, but try not to tilt. Good. And then walk your hands back. And let's come into Baddha Konasana. And then release. And that was your little workout, your little routine for the 10th day and the final day of the challenge. I hope you've really enjoyed this challenge. If you have any questions or if you've seen any progress, or if you want like another challenge like this, please let me know in the comments. And all your feedback is really appreciated. So I hope you've enjoyed this, as I've enjoyed filming it for you. So I will see you again in my next challenge. Thank you.